Shooting the shiznit, shooting the shiznit. Best little wrestling podcast in the business. Your host BT and all his guests. You'll never know who he'll have next. Shooting the shiznit, shooting the shiznit. Best little wrestling podcast in the business. Shooting the shiznit.
All right. We're live from 304 Studios in Jonesboro, Arkansas. This is an stspod.club production. And guys, this is 5-minute time limit live every first Tuesday of the month. And this is all episodes. Memphis in May. Remember, guys, this is episode 8 of 5-minute time limit, episode 942 of STS Pod. I just want to make a note. Number 7 of 5-minute time limit. Guys, it was a total shit show, but it did get the most audio plays of last month, being number 1 again. I'm sorry I was hyped up on gummies and Diet Mountain Lightning. Tonight, only Diet Mountain Lightning, okay? And no gummies tonight, so maybe I can actually talk. We got some guests already in the waiting room or the green room or in the studio audience that we're going to bring. I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring Eric on first. Eric,
what's up?
How the hell are you, man?
Man, I'm all right.
Well, let me tell you how it works. There's a clock there at the very top. You got 5 minutes. Let's talk, man.
All right, man. What's up? I'm the drummer for Moon Main, punk rock band out of Little Rock.
I think you're the first person in a punk rock band that's been on my show since it's pretty much a wrestling podcast. So y'all started. Are you all you guys from Little Rock?
I mean, we're a little spread out from around Arkansas. 2 members are from Little Rock area. I'm from Russellville, and our bass player's from like Clarksville area.
They used to have shows all the time in Russellville. If you can see, look, I pointed in the right direction there. We got the Moon Main. See, I actually knew how to say it. Moon Main. And growing up in the Memphis area, and Hustle and Flow. I remember seeing Hustle and Flow, and they said Maine every second there in that show, and somebody telling me we don't talk like that. Yeah, right. Yeah. We don't talk like that. Excited because I put some fillers out there, and you guys were one of the bands that had full CDs. You have full albums, whatever you want to call it, and you have a whole catalog of stuff. And we're going to be reviewing one of the albums on episode number 69. Giggity.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. On episode 69 of The Record Store. And I'm going to be the guest host, and I'm going to sit down. I've listened to some of the new songs. I've listened to some of it. It is so raw, and that's why I like it. And I know you probably will hate me when I say this, but it reminds me of like really when some of the first time not that I listened to the Nirvana that was on MTV. It reminded me of the Nirvana that I listened to when I went and bought the other albums.
Yeah, I mean,
the rawness of it, not the music.
Raw, and we know what we want to sound like, and we've had the pleasure of doing some really cool stuff. We recorded our first record at Sun Studio in Memphis.
Oh wow!
I mean, it sounds like it was recorded at a museum, but but we do have some new stuff coming out, and we got a 7-inch, and it'll be released on my new record label.
I wish I had a 7-inch. Jesus,
yeah.
Man.
Oh yeah. My wife says it's all I got. But yeah, man, and yeah, so we're really excited. We're gonna be hitting the road. We're gonna be, we're just doing a little weekend run with our friends, Revenge Bodies, also from Little Rock. Yeah, man.
And so what did you grow up listening to? I'm an old guy, so I grew up listening to it. But what was your influences with this rawness, with this punk rock?
Man, I was fortunate enough to grow up in Russellville, and at the time that I was in high school, around like 2005, 2004, there was a lot of bands, a lot of high school bands, a lot of kids, playing music. We had a sweet punk rock venue. It was like a warehouse connected to like an auto body shop that was like an apartment.
Oh, wow.
At 5 o'clock, it was fucking, we could do whatever we want. It was awesome, and that was my influence.
Music wise, who did you like listening to? I want to say on the radio, but I guess radio was still playing stuff.
I don't know, man. Just like the raw punk rock stuff, like the Germs, the Dicks, early Butthole Surfers. Like the classical, rock stuff like Alice Cooper, Wasp. Rocky Erickson in the 13th Floor Elevators.
If you're listening to this and you've never listened to any kind of music like he just said, go out of your way to pick one of those bands and go to YouTube and listen. It's so you just pulled out a bunch of different bands with a bunch of different music that's fun, fun. And I listen to everything. I listen to Waylon Jennings to punk rock. So there we go. Hey, man, I hate to do this to you. I appreciate you coming on, and we will give everyone as many details as possible about your band all month long on my personal Facebook page if you're watching it right here, and also on the Shooting the Shiznit Facebook page. Eric, thanks a lot, man.
Thank you.
I gotta do something on you first, so hold on.
All right.
I gotta do this. Look, your time is up. All right, that was Eric. Let's bring on our next guest. He's hold on. He's kayfabing everybody with the Big Vic. What the hell is that, man? Eric,
you know it.
Yeah, Eric. See, I already started your 5 minutes. I like to talk at least 4.5 minutes of the 5 minutes. But Big Vic is here. The first time appearing on my podcast, I believe. Yes.
Yes.
And I've known you for a long time, man. And I'm gonna put you over really quick. I give an offer one time when I was doing the website, WrestlingRideOnline.com. I told people in the business that if they want me to look at their stuff and give them any tips whatsoever, send me the videos. Communicate with me. And you were one of the very few. There was 2,000 people come to my website every day, and you were probably 7 or 8 people, and a lot of respect there, and being able to look at yourself and me, comment, do this, do that. I wouldn't do that kind of stuff. And I appreciate that. That was fun. And I guess that's where our friendship started.
Absolutely. Yeah, the first time we actually met each other was at the LAW show where you were giving out your Wrestling Ride book from 2007, I believe.
Was that the first one? Who was on the front? Who was on the front?
Oh crap! I want to say Greg Anthony. I could be totally wrong. No. It was Psycho and Pappy. That's who it was.
Okay, all right, cool.
Yeah, because you had like a 4 or 5 page spread over the whole Chris Benoit thing, but we ain't going to get into that.
You won the book or something, didn't you?
Yes, I did, because I wasn't going to get one, and my youngest kid was like, "Hey, man, go get one of them tickets," and I was the last person to get a ticket from you, and that was the name that got pulled out.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about it is we usually got 20, 25 people get. So I made more money on that book that I gave away than I did on a regular book.
That's what you're supposed to do.
We only got 3 minutes, but we're going to talk about something really quick. You just recently had a surgery that we've seen the scar of on online, and was that because of wrestling?
No, actually, it was a birth defect that didn't mature in my head until about a year ago, and
Oh,
I started
wow.
getting debilitating migraines to the point to where I wouldn't be able to go to work for like 2 weeks at a time. So we went through 3 different neurologists from Jonesboro to Little Rock to Memphis, and then we ended up going to Dr. Christ in Little Rock, who's a world-renowned neurosurgeon, and he got it done. They took out a 2 inch by 4 inch section of my skull, and then the curve in your C1 they took it out too, because I had a birth defect called Chiari malformation type 1, where it was your cerebellum tendons, tonsils. Yeah, your cerebellum tonsils, instead of being inside my brain, were actually out and against my spinal cord.
Jeez.
So
Jeez.
yeah. So they had to go in and take that piece out.
Now, if I was you, I'd just make up a cool story about the scar. I mean, I'd tell somebody, you know, I want to tell you, I had one of my favorite uncles. I had 2 favorite uncles. Look, I'm putting them over here, but they were both alcoholics. But one of them had the best sense of humor. He had pressure on his brain.
Yeah.
And they drilled 2 holes, one right here to take off the pressure. And when people asked him what that was, he said that's where they dug the horns out.
Oh my word, that's good. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah, he pretty much told everybody he was the devil. He also had a shirt that said "single and proud of it," but he was happily married. So yeah, that might be where I get some of my sense of humor from.
That's great.
But yeah, you got to come up with a cool story, like, you know, tell everyone that Idle Bane hit you with a chair across the back of your head and split it wide open or something. There we go.
That works, you know. I mean, he could always say, you know, that I tore his pinky off while I was sleeping one night, so his payback was, you know, to split my skull open.
Both of y'all got defects.
Yes. And I've had my kidney taken out too, so I've got 2 defects, so to speak.
Good God, yeah. When I die, they won't even want my kidneys. So there you go. Yeah, all this aspartame and diabetes, you know, we won't get.
There you go.
Coming on, we're gonna have you on one time and talk about your wrestling career and everything like that. But here's my favorite thing to do. I just love doing this. Your time is up. Thank you. I almost called you your shoot name. Thank you, Big Vic.
I know.
Appreciate it. All right, we're waiting on. Let's go ahead. Let's bring in. Let's do something real quick. Let's just take the quick commercial break, and we'll be right back with the Duchess.
Jackson, Tennessee, get ready for a night of non-stop laughs at Cody's Sports Bar and Grill. On May 10th at 7 p.m., we're bringing some of the best comedians in the area to the stage. Tickets are $10 at the door, but why pay more? Grab yours in advance for just $7 at codyscomedy.eventbrite.com. Great food, cold drinks, top-tier comedy. What more could you ask for? This event is 18 and over, so make sure you bring your ID and your best sense of humor. Comedy at Cody's Sports Bar and Grill, May 10th, 7 p.m. in Jackson, Tennessee. Be there.
Don't miss Memphis Wrestling Live. Sunday, May 18th, AEW superstar the best Scorpio Sky is coming to Memphis Wrestling. Saturday, July 12th, don't miss former WWE United States Champion Kalisto at Vicky Stevens Park in Little Rock. July 2025, Memphis Wrestling Kids Camp returns. Registration begins soon. All tickets are on sale now. Get yours right now at memphiswrestling.tv.
Oh, all right, Duchess.
Hello,
Duchess. You know that this is episode 8. You've been on all 8 episodes. Hold on, just a minute. I got somebody here that wants to celebrate with you. Look,
that's about how I dance. She might be a little better at it. She's got more money, so it looks more attractive.
I hadn't started your timer yet, but I do appreciate you coming on. I know you and Stacy both.
Yes.
Stacy is in the studio audience waiting to come on, and she has tonight.
Girl power.
Stacy has a special guest with her. If you're watching right now, what I want you to do is I want you to go tell a friend that Stacy's going to have one of the most popular. Well, I guess he's popular.
Of course. she is.
Famous. How about this? One of the most famous wrestlers of all time. With her tonight.
Oh.
Oh, yep. Online.
Well, I'll be watching to the end anyway.
Yeah,
so.
I know you will. So let's get our timer. I got a fancy timer
Okay.
now.
I-
So let's get our
nice.
timer going.
Okay.
You got 5 minutes. And if you've never joined us with the Duchess, she's
Mm-hmm.
a former fan. She doesn't watch wrestling much anymore, but I always give her homework from Monday Night Raw for you to watch.
Yes.
What did you watch?
I
this
watched
week?
them both. I couldn't
Okay.
figure out which one, so I figured I'm good to talk about either one. But I think the Jey Uso Seth freaking Rollins was much more exciting.
What was your thoughts of Pat? Now, are you familiar with Pat McAfee? He does the podcast.
Yeah, I've
He's
seen
real
him on
popular.
other shows, and I see him more like in a football base. But
Right. Oh yeah, you're a huge football fan too.
Yeah.
Wait, I gotta get rid of you, Steelers. Right? Yeah, that's right.
right there. Let's
No,
see.
but
There you go.
what do you think about? I think he's excellent. That's my.
I think he's
really
fun.
good.
You know, he should be wrestling. He should wrestle at this point because why not? Why not?
Yeah,
he's done
it.
He's
done
a trash
couple of-
talker. So
yeah,
it's fun.
he's done a couple of matches. I believe 2 matches or 3. Here's the guy who didn't have to do what he did, but he went and trained full time to learn how to make it look good, and he
Nice.
really did. So, what was you had Rollins against Jey Uso? You kind of
Yes.
been following both of those guys. I'll give you stuff for both of those guys to
Yes.
watch. Jay the champion now. We knew that was going to happen with all the popularity and with the.
Well,
the
see, I
fans.
didn't know because
Right.
I don't know who's the popular one. So because again, I only watched the
Remember
assignments they give me.
the entrance I got you to
Right.
watch of Jey Uso, and it was
Yes.
so crazy.
That was awesome.
nuts.
Yeah.
And then Seth, you've seen a couple of things with Seth Rollins. So, what did you
Yes.
think about the match? Did you think it was ending before it ended?
It caught me a couple times, but I saw by the time length, like there's no way anybody's getting pinned at 14 minutes when this
Oh,
is
wow.
a 20-minute match. I'm like, there's no 6-minute celebration. So I love the 2 right before 3 that they throw out and they're up again. So I always enjoy that. I thought it was actually a really good match. I really enjoyed watching it. And of course the all the crap from the side. I don't know who the big guy was in the leather. I missed his name.
His Braun Breaker, his I don't know,
Okay.
his dad. You probably remember the Steiners. Do you remember
Maybe.
Rick and Scott Steiner? I don't know if you remember them. That's
That
one
I
of
don't
the-
know. I don't know. If they were after like mid 80s, I probably don't know them.
Yeah, just
So, my bad.
superstar. He's a freaking superstar, but he's cheering everybody. And
Right.
I really like what they've done. And you didn't see this, but they've turned Rollins with Paul Heyman now, and
Mhm.
Rollins and Braun are together. Jay's still getting the reaction that he was getting, and it was to me the thing to do, putting the belt on him.
Mhm.
But I love the pacing of that match. It was a
was
really
good.
good match. Really good
I
match.
have to say, it may not make me popular, but I was rooting for Seth freaking Rollins. I really was. Maybe it's the bad boy. I don't know, but I really enjoyed it. And I love people who run in the ring like that. They come, the music comes up and everybody just freezes. I love that.
Yeah,
That to me
Punk
is
came
fun.
out of the back. Yeah, I did
Yes,
too.
that's
It's so
always fun.
cheesy.
Oh, it's
Wrestling's
fun.
cheesy in so many ways, but
That's what makes it great, though. I mean, right? I mean, why would
Yeah,
else?
you get the
it was
music
predictable.
before you. I try to get the wife to play music before I came to supper every night, but she won't do it. Damn it! What is up with her?
I used to work for a place, and every time, I mean, it was old, it was back in the day, but every time we made a sale of a particular item, we would play the John Cena, that.
Oh wow, that's hilarious.
It got a little old after a month, but it was
I guess it did. Yeah. Oh, y'all, I'm opening up not a beer, but
Not a beer?
what is this? 0 sugar Sam's Cola. There you go. I'm a
That
generic
sounds-
cola.
that sounds awesome. I've got a glass of wine, but hey, you enjoy your sugar-free whatever soda.
So real quick, we got looks like 42 seconds. Tell
Yeah.
me what
Yeah.
you do in the podcast world, because we met through. I guess we were both fans of Who's Right's how we
Who's
met.
Right? I think was kind of how we tipped through, and actually through Rubberneckers, because I remember you being on that episode.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You're
It
right.
was you
You're
and
right. I
Jody
forgot
and
about that.
John. Mhm.
Yeah. Tell us how to get to your podcast.
Well, if you're interested on the second mic with my co-host John on the Boomer Bunker podcast, we normally live stream the recording of our podcast on Mondays, and this week it'll be Wednesday, so tomorrow at 6:30 Eastern. All of our links and fun stuff is at boomerbunker.com.
There you go.
So,
Hey,
yeah.
thanks a lot. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
Always
And
fun.
I have
A
to do
delight.
this. This is my favorite part. Of
I know
kicking
that.
somebody out. It really is. Your time
The power.
is up. All right. Wait. Hold on before I get to. Don't show anybody yet because we got
I
the.
won't, but I want you to see my new wrestling shirt.
Woo! Dirty Dom. Dirty Dom. Stacy
Look.
making her 8th appearance on 5-minute time limit. She said Duchess is not going to beat her for appearances. She's got to be on here. And we talked about, let's get started. Okay, so your 5 minutes starts now. We talked about, we always like to do something special. Last month, I kind of ribbed her and asked her a question out of the blue.
Oh yeah.
But I sent you a message, and one day when I'm dead and gone, I'm gonna have someone publish all our messages, and they will put you in a cage somewhere, because they'll definitely think you're crazy. So talk to me. What's been going on in your life? And we're going. Somebody's there in your home living now
Yeah.
with
time
you.
has- time has changed, man.
And you shared some things about him, but go ahead, just talk about him.
So, with the economy, I needed to have a roommate, and I was looking for a father for my 5 cats. And I knew that his schedule was going to be freeing up, pretty soon, close to the end of the year. And so anyways, he's done a fantastic job. He's helped me with, staying on track on my diet. It makes it really hard to want to overindulge. He even hung up my wrestling shirts.
No way.
Yeah.
You said something. You said something about him. He even cooked for you.
Yeah.
Oh wow! So go before we go any further, real quick. This is a teaser coming up right after Stacy's our last guest, and we're announcing the new host of WTF with me. Show us the famous wrestler that's living with you now. Oh my God! Oh, it's John Cena, y'all! It's John Cena.
God. Look at him.
Well, I was just going to be next to the last, but looks like we got another guest, so we'll pull on that too after you get. Tell us about John. Is he a bad guy like he is on TV now?
No, he is just as sweet as tea. He's got good manners. We have worked through a lot of the, he said that we were toxic, and that was fair. But, I've been really working with him. He's been open and engaged in the conversation. A lot of feedback, and I think you'll see in time growth in him. He's not a heel in real life.
Does he have any problem with your love for Dom or your love for Seth Rollins?
No problems at all. He, like I said, sweet as tea. I mean, couldn't be better, really. I mean, couldn't be better.
So reveal something that we as fans would want to know about John Cena. Here it is. Here's a couple of things. What kind of toothpaste does he use? And what kind of deodorant does he use?
Well, he uses Sensodyne extra white, but he's got sensitive teeth.
Oh, okay.
I mean, and he uses I haven't seen him use any deodorant. He is all natural, but
oh my God.
Okay, because he doesn't smell. But I've not seen any deodorant. So there's
I know people are looking at you and they're saying John Cena's right there. Why can't he come up and talk on the podcast? It's WWE did not clear us for him to come talk. We're not one of those. Good God, we're not one of those. She's done.
I've been holding that cough in since like
Good God.
3 years.
Oh, so 3 years she's been holding.
COVID. It was the COVID crisis. You were afraid to cough, you know?
And last month was a shit show, not this one. Oh my God. WWE said no way Shooting the Shiznit can't be on Shooting the Shiznit. You know, a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes with us and some changes happening. And so John Cena just don't want to be part of that.
Yeah, I mean, really.
So, you know, I hate to ask this, but Stacey, how many times have you seen him naked?
Several.
She saw him several times.
Several times.
Check it out.
More than once.
More than once. All right. Good deal. Good deal. You know what this is? I got that fancy timer up there now, so you know it's over.
Oh, it's not a surprise.
Your time is up.
All right, we got somebody here. Looks like Michael Hansen. Michael, I'm not sure. I put that link up, and everybody and their mama can get on there and come on and talk.
Hello.
Michael, who the hell are you, and how the hell are you?
My name's Michael Hansen. I'm a bass player in Little Rock, Arkansas for Moon Main. We recently got some sort of association with a wrestling group. I just want to let y'all know that Moon Main is down to wrestle anytime, anywhere, any rules. We will come at you. We will dominate you, and we will make you love it. Now, everybody's focused on the stars. Everyone wants to hear about what kind of toothpaste John Cena uses. I've never met John Cena, but I'm sure he's a tremendous fellow. We got some tremendous fellows in our band. We've done our fair share of violence to each other on the road, on tour, you know. We played an event in Tyler, Texas, where it was 2 bands would play, and then a wrestling group would happen. And I'll be the first to tell you, we got involved a little bit in the wrestling. Not just music, but also, you know, wailing on somebody, just going crazy in a redneck rumble kind of fashion.
I asked Eric about this. So being just, to me, the music's just so raw. That's what I like about it. But who was you listening to when you were growing up? What gave you this influence?
Man, I like Alice in Chains. I like Bowling for Soup. I like They Might Be Giants. And I listen to old school blues. Now, the old school blues has, I think, the most raw energy of any type of music because of the suffering and the hardship and the underdog status that the blues musicians had endured for a long time prior to their ability to record that music and get that sound of pain out there. So, you know, Robert Johnson, Muddy Waters, They Might Be Giants, all kinds of influences. There's no limit on what a song could be. And I like pushing the boundaries of what a bass player can do in a band. That's why I have all these delusions of grandeur about fantasy planets and membranous connections between the lunar cycles. The 30 planets of Zoltan have aligned, and the borders between universes is as thin as it has ever been. And
Michael, I got to be honest with you. Have you been chewing that gummy and drinking a diet Mountain Lightning tonight? Is this what's going on?
No, I'm only under the influence of life and the natural biochemicals God bestowed upon me. You know, I got a special set of family members allowed me to the truth in a way that most people wouldn't dare to do. I'm allowed to touch the music. I'm allowed to interact and change the sonic landscape of the central Arkansas, and I think the whole state of Arkansas, really.
Man, we got to get you on to you need to do the commercial for your band, man. You can do a promo for it. As you can tell, we've got the logo up. We will be reviewing Moon Main coming up on episode, I said this to Eric, but episode 69, Giggity Giggity. And so we'll be doing that later on this month. We'll be talking. I haven't picked which album yet. And y'all got new music coming out every week in the month of May. All episodes Memphis in May. And Little Rock's not Memphis, but it has the influence of Memphis. And y'all being in Sun Studios, I wanted to ask Eric this and kind of forgot after he started talking. How did it feel recording in something? It's history. Sun Studio is. How did that feel?
Felt haunted. Honestly, I felt like I was in the presence of honorable souls of the dead. Like we could conjure their energy and have them sort of act as a sort of depositor of musical knowledge on our own mind. They were like our muse, all right? You had the $1 Million Quartet, Elvis Presley, Johnny Cash, Jerry Lee Lewis, and Carl Perkins, all in there in photograph form. But when you take a photograph, you know that steals a little piece of that person's soul. And then a video is something like 30 photographs a second. How much soul could one person give out, you know, based on photographs and such? And so whenever Jackson was doing his vocals, he was recording in the vocal booth. The rest of us was playing cards, and we were doing like tarot readings with a regular 52 card deck. And that led me to believe that, well, maybe something had come over us, maybe some sort of force, some sort of energy. Ooh, it was cool, man. It was cool. And we got to work with a guy who was going to music school. It was nice to have somebody with an education telling us what we needed to be doing and how we needed to be playing. And we came out with a real good product. But lately, we have been doing it ourselves. And I think that the quality of the recordings really shows our vision, our true vision, unwatered down, unadulterated, you know. And I think we could stand toe-to-toe with some of the best bands in the world and just make friends out of them.
What about
That's what
bass?
music is
Why did
about.
you pick the bass? Why did you pick the bass?
Oh, my dad wanted me to.
Right on, right on. Hey,
No, I like the bass because it's a combination of rhythm as well as tonality. It's not as technical as the guitar, but it's a little bit more expressive.
Eric, I got something to tell you.
Your time is
Yeah.
up.
All right, guys, that was Eric. We got one final guest, bringing him on. He is the new co-host with me, WTF News Desk. All right, we're here with our last guest of the evening, my old buddy, my best friend, Gene Jackson. Gene, as you can see up above, I got that little fancy timer going on. We got 5 minutes. And first, as you can also see, scrolling there at the bottom, everyone, my new co-host for WTF News Desk, Gene Jackson. How the hell are you?
I'm good, man. Look at that. The new co-host of the WTF News Desk. Who would have thought?
You excited about it?
Yeah, man. I've checked them out in the past, and on my trip to Philadelphia this weekend, I checked out several of them to kind of just get a feel for them. And yeah, man, I think it's right up my alley. I'm looking forward to it. Should be a lot of fun.
We've been doing it for a few years now, and with the change in some co-hosts and everything, but I wanted the 5 minutes. I want to talk about some other stuff and your projects that you're doing, but I want to let everyone know. They're going to say, well, you know, you was with Lance for a long time. The folks don't know that me and you've been doing podcasts together on and off since around 2007.
That's right.
2007.
That's
so
right.
See, I can't
started
do
Cheap
math.
Heat Radio, and you started shooting the Shiznit. You and Brian Thompson were doing them, and you were coming on my show, and I would come on y'all's show. And yeah, man, me and you've been working on websites and doing podcasts and doing stuff for years, even predating this long-term relationship that you and Lance have been in. So
I'm excited about it. It's different because it was the WTF was kind of like he drove the ship, and I'm going to drive the ship this time, send you the articles, and we're going to do it. Some fun stuff for the month of April. I think with our sense of humor, two Southern guys' sense of humor, it's going to be fun. And we've been doing USWA review show. I've been jumping in for Richard, been doing it a lot. But please tell me, we got about 2.5 minutes left, but tell me everything you've been doing in the last week, and let's put over the Eddie Gilbert book real quick.
The Eddie Gilbert book that me and Doug wrote together is out now. I finally had one in my hands Saturday in Philadelphia.
Right on.
To, the WrestleCon and the TWA One and Done for Joel Goodhart, and actually finally laid eyes on the book for the first time, flipped through one. Very proud of it. Doug's very proud of it. We sold a lot of them at the convention Saturday, and the publisher, I got a chance to speak with him at length. We had some meetings with the publisher about some future projects. And he said that the pre-sale for the Eddie Gilbert book has exceeded all expectations. It's doing very well. It's actually the first official book that this publisher has put out wrestling-wise. They've done some other entertainment type stuff, but this is their first foray into wrestling, and they're very happy with it, very excited.
Wow, the first time they did a wrestling book. I got mine ordered. I hadn't got mine in yet. I'm excited about it. As you know, I'm a huge Eddie Gilbert fan. Only got a chance to meet Eddie one time here in Jonesboro, and he was bleeding really bad. They did a show in Jonesboro, drew about 1,200 people in a building, and the crowd was so hot. Eddie came out during the whole show and would interfere or do something to build for the main event with him against Jerry Lawler. Crowd went crazy, and I walked into the dressing room and said hi to Missy. I did not know her. I said, look, Doug McKay said, say hi to you and Eddie. I'd really like to meet Eddie, blah, blah, blah. And Eddie's just pouring with blood, holding his, she said, his blood pressure is really high right now, and he's just pumping blood all over the place. And I'm like, I took a couple pictures of it. I don't know if they still exist somewhere, but they were both just super nice. Eddie, extremely bleeding, extremely bad, still awesome. And I'm excited about the book. I'm excited. You're coming on in all episodes of Memphis in May, and we're going to talk about your trip. We're going to talk about Eddie Gilbert book. We're going to talk about the USWA podcast, and we're going to put over everything about Memphis wrestling. And you and I have done some deep dives into some stuff. And I can't ever remember the name of what was our show?
Was it really that good?
There we go. There we go. So thanks, Gene, for listening to me talk for 5 minutes. I appreciate it. As always, that's just the way it works. Have a great night, and we thank everyone. Oh, I got to play this for you. Your time is up. All right, guys. Same bad time, same bad channel on the best little wrestling podcast in the business. Be there. And as everyone knows, y'all got to know this by now, I love my mama.